Hello there, friends. Welcome to Syrian Star Oracle in the Age of Aquarius. You'll often hear me call it Syrian Star Oracle on YouTube. You can find me on Paths of Wonder, TikTok. So, if you don't know and you're new to me, I am Ritza. I am also called Coyote, and my star name is Azira. In the stars, I am Commander Azira Atahir. So you may see me under card readings and such for Azira, because that is, it's so interesting when you start to discover and remember who you are, and yet you're in this flesh. Um, there's a part of you that longs to go back or be that most powerful, respected, um, otherworldly being. But that is a part of me, just like you come from the stars too. And every single one of us, we have star seed, and we have been around many lifetimes. And this is a time of remembering. So sometimes you'll also see this channel have wisdom tea and oracle insights. But tonight I wanted to send out a radiation on letting go judgment and also discernment, which I had picked two cards. And most of that mostly speaks to, which I'll go over later at the very, very end. But the cards do speak to our wisdom and innate knowing of taking care of ourselves and also being spiritual beings, which I thought leaned more toward discernment. And I'm going to play something for you that I was speaking to on Facebook because I wasn't sure if I was going to do this radiation energy send earlier. I was thinking about just trying it on Facebook, but I'm just going to archive this and keep this in with my usual renderings of cards. And here's a little funny. And other wellness radiation I sent out. So ultimately, I'm going to play something for you, and I may interrupt it to give you a thought or two. When it ends, you're going to go see me go into a version of commanding in, calling in the energies that I work with, and then I'm going to be going into the radiation. I may play some background music as well at that time, so it may be be a slight few seconds pause. um, I want you to know that if not the description, there's some commentary, and I'm going to do my best to go back and list the time for you, um, where I just do the energy send, and you'll know because my hands will go out like this. If they're up like this, I'm commanding in the energies. And sometimes when I do the radiation, if it's appropriate, my hands will shift, but I don't know what will happen. I'm just guided to do what I do. So that's that. My little shawl. I'm a little chilly. It's gotten a little chilly. We had the past 2 or 3 days that were really comfortable and much warmer. And so energies of the planet plus evil dominion working things out with the good guys. So the good guys to me are really in charge. Everybody, please just try to do your best again to listen and observe. Um, there's a little bit left of duking things out in a sense, but in the skies we're really good. In the middle of the earth, I believe there's still a little bit more patrol of cleanup, but I don't really think that's a big action. I think it's mostly on the earth plane that the players and us who know or sense things, and there's that are lean more with the capital T for truth, and then those who are awakening, who are either a little confused but definitely know something's up, or some that are definitely know something's up and maybe they're scared. There's Everyone is kind of awakening at their own level, and some people will not. But there's still a little bit of or a lot actually of cleanup. But everything that you see, I just want to reiterate, everything you see on TV is not completely true. And if it was true, it was true at one point, but not true now, in the sense that it's coming forward for you to discern and for us to understand we have the power, not the few with all the money and titles who don't tell all the people. And it doesn't matter. Whatever political arena, whatever educational arena, whatever religious arena, whatever corporation arena, whatever mom and pop arena, whatever, then small subdivision of all those topics, titles, organizations, everything. There's those people that just know immediately what they're supposed to do, immediately what they're supposed to do, and answer to others in a chain of command going up, where only a select few know what's really going on in terms of corporate America or the money systems. And everyone else just is given a little bit of piece of what they should or have to do, but not given the whole picture because many people wouldn't go along with the whole picture, but they're watched in the sense of this trickling down of to see how the powers can manipulate and puppet play everyone. But I was just want to say, because this is not the topic I'm going into tonight. This is really, it's more to just give you peace, trust, have fun, create with the words, create with the imagery of your mind, create with pictures you might see, the life, the body, the associations, and all, and allow it in with feeling of the life and desires you want. And don't let anyone squelch your light. And even if you know now that you shouldn't have done some things or like that to yourself or children, take your accountability because you let yourself do that. And I don't mean that harshly. But now, claim your power. And let's go into this theme of letting go judgment, being in discernment. Because love is not a doormat, and you'll hear me say that. So let me play this. It's, whoops, notifications. It's partly, I won't, it's about 3 minutes long, and I'll interrupt it as I need. But this will set up tonight's energy wellness radiation from the quantum field. Check where she is. Looking for my lip gloss. I am still doing I have a lot of good energy. I still want to do my radiation on judgment, which I will do tonight. Oops. What did I do? Will be seen, whether it's Facebook or on my channel, Sirius Star Oracle. I really feel like doing that because I do have judgment that comes up myself. And part of it, there's an interesting thing. I want to talk about judgment, which also discernment, because some people I want to help, either help as a human or help as an intuitive person, and they're not ready. And so you do have to let go. You can't drag the slave. You can't drag the person who says they want fixing or help and they're stuck and they don't have, and especially in the moment when they're distraught, something happened or in the middle of being trauma. So I want to talk about how I can judge. I can judge, or we can judge. And then there's discernment in that judgment, or discern in or partnered in discernment with observing people, situations, and ourselves. And so discernment is really applying some keen insight and observation as you observe yourself in other situations. And the judgment may come up in yourself, of yourself, and the other people, perhaps involved, that you want to help, rescue, or just point away or be there for them. And one, you can see very clearly a clearer road for them to try on, to walk on, to start to walk on. And it could be someone in their own self-abuse, which is self-abuse if they're in a bad relationship and they choose to stay abused. They don't mean it that way. And sometimes they understand that they are, and they feel like they can't break away. But yes, you can break away. That's being an addict to a love, which is a poison. But it's learned, and yes, it's what in I had a young woman to say that's what she knows. You've got to break the pattern, and breaking the pattern hurts as much as staying, but it's like a death. So there's one person of example, and I had a couple of other examples recently of addicts at ADDICTS, addicts in my car. And some of it I don't want to listen to myself because it's old stories of woundology and victimhood. And I do not allow you, at least I'm glad to help you. You can be in my, I'm in service with you and for you, but I don't take bullshit and I don't forward you continuing to tell the old story. If you want to go tell a story, go to a therapist because they're glad to listen to the old story and charge you for it over and over again. Because each time you go back to a therapist, you've got to repeat some part of where you left off, which is going back into time, which your body doesn't get that you're in this now new time. It goes back to that time, and your cells start to prepare in any conversation that's old, and it prepares in wellness and fun and gladness, or propels in the fight and flight, or it creates chemicals of that time um, that helped you build that particular woundology and is releasing toxins in your body. So you're hurting yourself, or we're hurting ourselves on two levels. One, repeating the story, and now that we have to repeat it with spell casting, we're creating, solidifying the past in this now. The past is coming past into the now. So you're not really launching yourself as forward as you could go, which is why at some point I would not discourage you from therapy and chatting. However, at some point, you must see the mirror where you're at the crossroads to say, that was the past, and I claim my power now, and I know I need that practice of continuing to speak and care and move forward. And if I slip, well, I slip, find as much kindness as I can, and I will be moving on in that 1 hour, 2 hour, 2 weeks. I won't be going fully back in the past. But that's not who I had in my car as I route share. And when people want to know prophecy and I or not, and sometimes it'll come through like you are going to die. You are going to die and you're choosing the path of death. However, this is your last chance. And if you don't take it now, however, this is your last chance. And if you don't take it now, you have sealed you will die. We're all gonna die. But you can live a life and step into more nobility and freedom and great self-care. Or you can make this solid time, that's the point of which is no return, poison your body some more because it's at the cusp. It's too late. You can start healing now, and there will be still some damage, but you will start to get mentally, emotionally, physically better, or to a place where you will live longer. But if you don't, you have doomed yourself to die. And so if you keep choosing that story, you will die. And and then the other part is just, some addicts just want to figure out how they can have sex and soothing and have someone else to tell their garbage to, their story to, their old self to, and they're not ready. And you can see the sweetness in them. You can see there's some absolutely there's goodness in everybody. But I cannot take you on when I already know that you're not ready. I cannot because you're not ready. If you're not ready to do certain programs, or you just more want to chat and talk woundology, I'm really not about that. I'm absolutely here to hear you out and then forward solution and forward health, wellness, miracle in action, cure, um, launching, dissolving obstacles and launching self forward past that. You know, and when I help you, I'm helping myself because I'm just solidifying what it is I've learned and am learning and am seeking and am building on my own skill sets of what's come through the quantum field or what's being told to me. And certainly, having lived many colorful and many different adventures, from very, being in well-off, affluent arenas to poverty, to walking on fire, to coping skills, surviving abduction, many, many things. And then also having a sensitive awareness to environment, I feel very, very well adapt to assist. But in my teaching, there's when you're ready, I will appear. When you're not ready and I appear and you say you're ready, I am going to call you out because I won't be spending time with you. And I'm not spending time with you for free. This is a love donation. It's a sliding scale. It's usually money, but I don't spend your pocketbook. You are forwarding your own greatness, and you're having someone mirror back. Okay, let's get back to the point of the radiation. There's another soul having their experience. Blessings to them and the people driving. So I just want to say that it's not in my heart that I wish to be harsh. I don't take any bullshit. And so people are just sometimes not ready for that. And we can all judge a little bit less. So even in my discernment or my judgment, my own practice is to step up with a type of heartfelt patience and a type of heartfelt tolerance. Not to tolerate that behavior, but to call it out. See, love is not a doormat. Love is not a doormat. And it may be a fine line to always be gracious. And sometimes being gracious, in some ways, is saying what it is. The person is not ready, or they are an addict. You don't feel sorry for them. Bless them and empower them that they have an epiphany. Bless them and empower them that they value will come to have some sort of insight, clairvoyance, big bulb awakening, where they hit their bottom, or they have something flash before their eyes, whatever that is, that helps them to embrace, even though it feels uncomfortable and hurtful, to embrace who they are, so they can fall deeper into life with themselves and deeper into love themselves. So this is a part two where we, in noticing a judgment, get to embrace and see that judgment. Was it from just ego? Was it a trigger? That's a self answer. You can search yourself. And then if it is or isn't, ultimately it won't matter other than you want to still vibe a higher timeline of grace. And so one can say, let me be a conduit for good. Let me be, the saying goes, let me be an instrument of peace. You can be grace in stillness, grace in action. You can take your graciousness and lend that energetically in the direction of those who are in difficulty, while you may say, thinking, get the F out of my car, you drunk. You know that there's always someone lesser and greater than you in different moments of different learnings, because we're really all learning in this school of remembering our power, remembering our divinity. And as we embrace that, not with ego, but in knowing the steadfast divine right that we command, that we are more than what we see, but we are that and more. And we use judgment. How were we? And the judgment over another, to not rule over with the iron fist, but to rule over with grace, and to use discernment and wisdom in taking care of the self in an arena that might be mixed, and taking care of heart and soul. Just because you're driving someone to a location, just because you're helping someone across the street, just because you're a police officer, fireman, and you are rescuing and assisting to get people out or put them in the next place, also doesn't mean you take bullshit. A lot of these people, officers, may have some time to interact and react or respond. Firemen just get you the hell out of the burning building and later probably chat on what they could have done better. But especially when you're dealing with someone right there who's chaotic, subtly or strongly, love is not a doormat. You don't have to take any shit. verbally if you need to answer back in a particular way that sets boundaries, which most of these people don't know boundaries because they're not in a space, they don't even understand the boundaries of themselves. But this whole situation could be with family members or a current spouse, a really close friend, or a neighbor that you have been having hiccups with in some really uncomfortable interactions. And so this offering and this radiation is about the dissolving of things that seem to be in the way, where you might judge or, in fact, use ego and perhaps a particular slant of discernment that doesn't hold a blessing to them or to you.
May not be ready. So give them that graciousness, even in words that would seem harsh, but the truth, for them to know who you're cared about. Your angels will help you, but you got a choice. And it will get worse before it gets better, especially if you don't choose health or karmic situations, and it will get worse before it gets better when you choose the path of falling in love with yourself and falling in like with yourself when you just basically shat on yourself for a very long time. So I say that with as much kindness as I can, and to just cover my ass because it's the truth, and I'm here to defend the truth and to lead you to your freedom. Me too. I will see you later on my channel. I do intend to come on. I do intend to go on to Facebook on my channel. This is today, Sunday, the 16th. I'm actually enjoying driving Lyft because I'm just doing a lot of little rides that are actually helping, but I got to go home anyway and help my cat. And then one of my cats is out, and then we'll see if I stay at one more hour and then do my radiation or whatever. But I am around here. I'm definitely putting that out there because I'm going to do it. I'm showing up for that. Right? Many blessings. My little kitey heart loves you. We're powered by the stars, and we are the spark of creation.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to send this radiation out, and I'll just go over the cards briefly. Maybe we should do that now because at the end of the radiation, I think I would just like to close and wish you a pleasant night. I'm just going to share the cards right now since I'm in the talking mode. So this was my second card, which is use your cunning, and it's the number 18, which in Jewish religion is the number of life. There's a 1, of course, for number 1, and straight as an arrow, and 8, the infinity symbol of money, prosperity, and both have to do with the universe guiding you. But together they equal 9, which is share your special gifts and abilities with the world, and also to recognize when you've been sharing yourself with those who are not so interested. They just want to talk your ear off. They like to be voyeurs, but they're not really interested in all the wisdom that you share. They just like kind of saying that they know you, hang around you. But it's kind of like when some people go to fortune telling type card readings, a gypsy, and I mean this with all due respect, I'm just using it as an example, but they just like want to meet the handsome man, or know the soulmate is there, everything's gonna work out, it's gonna be hunky dory, and they're told all this like fantastic stuff, and they play their dollars, but it's more like a game thing. So when you have people like that in your life, you have to use your discernment. You are judging them because it's use your discernment, but you don't have to stay in an ego-based judgment. And your discernment can come from just having keen insight. And this is 0. It's just the base. There isn't an assignment, but again, you have like the circle of life in the card in this what they call the Fool. They give it the assign it as 0. But I look at it like it's a universal circle, a never ending cycle of, do you want to be either on the circle that keeps you in place, as a fool, or do you want to be in the circle? As you know, there's life, death, there's rebirth, phoenix rising from the ashes. And this really had to do with kind of the fun of trusting. What was next is a part of what the author wrote, that I am meant to experience. Um, let's see, he's meant to. So, can I take a risk and trust that with faith anything is possible? The invisible realm will reveal each step along the way. I am meant to experience this regardless of where I travel. This is a time when I am learning that I am a spiritual being having a human experience. So, number one, this is why you can use discernment and a keen observation of what you see going on to take care of yourself, but also set boundaries and also make commands and declarations. And if the person is wonky, like if I really, really want to, I can pull my car over and tell people to get out. And if they don't get out, I'll call the police. Or I'll just drive them to the police. We have to make judgments about what is divinely right for us. And it's really not making the other person wrong or that they're really bad. They're going through whatever they're going through, just like you are in that moment or going through what you're going through. But we can do it from a place of graciousness, and we do it from a place where love is not a doormat and I'm just going to do this. And it's not a matter of raising voice, being right, making someone feel raising voice, being right, making someone feel bad. Though at times maybe I even do that in making a point. With someone who's being obnoxious because they almost even can't help it. So this radiation again is to help with an overall even judgment, harsh judgment, um, and just allowing the beings of discernment. So any area of judgment on self or other, this radiation will help uplift and or dissolve. So you will start to glean insight from that which you are experiencing in yourself and from others. And the number 18, which is use your cunning, which is this wonderful, has a native feel to it, a tribal feel to it. It's like the fox there. And so this card talks about foxes, like women, have deep cunning. And the word cunning derives from Older Middle English, ken, a range of knowledge or sight. And so cunning women were thought of as conniving or shrewd, but as this wild woman, we understand a woman, this is a woman who uses her cunning and employs the deep internal sight and wide range of vision that leads to building an authentic life, true to her own imaginings. When we excavate our deep knowing and trust its messages, wild woman rises. So I have judgments, and I think a lot of the judgments are right on because I'm using discernment and I don't take bullshit. Sometimes there are judgments, and I may be wrong or out of line, and so certainly I want to find grace within situations and within myself to forgive, let go, uplift, and be in a place that is wise and caring. And again, love is not a doormat. So I'm going to turn on some music. Um, Let me just see if I want to say anything about this. Let me just see about what this author says about this. The zero might not say. Sometimes it does. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, well, I suppose that what I wanted to bring up was not as important this time. Let's go into the radiation. You're going to see me do a setup of that. I'm going to start to turn on music. Hopefully we won't get a lot of notifications and such. Let's just see. I have one that I would like to use, I think. Oops. I'm just going to Might have a little bit of background there. Right. Okay. Here we go. I command in and call forward my light codes and sacred geometries from the databases, hidden places, secret treasure troves, the alchemic schools of wisdom and knowledge, crystal caves of wonder, all manner of scholarly scrolls, iconic master scrolls, diaries, and wisdom books. I call forward in command all corrections, calibrations, calculations, formulas, and equations from the quantum field, the infinite mind, the all that is and never was. I call forth encrypted coded downloads from databases and hidden places, encrypted codes of color, tone, frequency, sound, alphabetical, numerical, those I know, those I don't know, invisible and yet not visible, all manner of nobility, virtue, freedom, all manner of truth of all timeline, space, dimensions. I call on the Lord Yeshua, Lord Saint Germain, Lord Buddha, Lord Maitreya, Ganesha. Call upon the goddesses, Fortuna, Goddess Mothers Mary, Lakshmi, Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene. I call upon High Fae and High Sylph, Violet Flame, Violet Tara, Rose Gold Flame, the Christed Flame, Double Diamond Plasma Light, Double Diamond Lilac Light, tinge of rose quartz color, and the Christed light bursting out. I call in the red dragon, white dragon, commanding red dragon, white dragon, gold dragon, and their friends and family, their counterparts, blue, brown, black, purple, yellow, orange, green, pink. I call upon the dragon family to sit around us. I call in the High Fae and High Sylph. I call my space brethren, family, and connections, comrades, teachers, associations, Lyran, Andromedean, Syrian, Palladian, Arturian. I call upon the archangels of wellness, the archangels of mobility, might, protection, goodness, gladness, cheer. Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Ariel, Chamuel, Ezekiel, Joviel, Raphael, Zadkiel, Haniel, Sandalford, Melchizedek, Zanzibar, Metatron, all that's good, holy, virtuous, and noble. I call upon these equations, calculations, formulas to come into my field for optimum blueprint. Okay, go. To apply this, to apply these, to the release, the let go of judgments, self-judgments, judgments on others in every area of life and circumstances that we run into, that we're a part of, and to uplift and uphold discernment, keen insight, and to move forward in graciousness. And now we start. And the radiation there, it's interesting, it came out different all the time. My hands did feel very hot and intense, and however it's coming, I was silently asking that judgment be softened, released, let go in such a way that covers every area of life, that you feel lighter and that your discernment is supported. And the judgment of self in judging or observing, and judgment of others. And yet again, this talk was really about understanding that you have wisdom and you're kind. I'm assuming we're kind. We want to be kind. We're striving to be and embrace our higher selves. And in our nobility, virtue, gladness, care, cheer for humanity, we also must just take care of ourselves in that moment. It doesn't mean that we are disrespectful. It doesn't mean that we are blatantly mean or callous. It may come out that way because we will say no is no, and this is what I know, and I'm sharing what I know. And love is not a doormat. So you can say things very calmly, very boldly. There will be people in our lives that filter in and out to test us if we make our boundaries and we make ourselves clear. And we can put up with so much, especially when someone is weak and they need help to the next steps. But if it truly presses against your discernment and your judgment comes up to take care of you over them, you must. As love is not a doormat, and you are being noble, because that person also needs to learn something too. Even if they don't get it then, you will have peace in the moment. My little kitty heart loves you. You are powered by the stars. You are the key. Let's activate the power within. Spark of creation you are, and I appreciate you. Until next time.